Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to the Epics of Irindal. Last time, our party had woken up in the laboratory research facility, hidden sanctuary of Dr. Nightingale after spending the night in Gami's Mantle, the sort of small roadside chapel centered by a large cemetery, mass grave, the site of some ancient conflict. You would also run back into your mentor and friend and sort of caretaker, if you will, Trash, Catherine Aylin Lead, who had been on the run for over a week now since the incident that occurred in the capital city of Callista in the Jamila dynasty. Relieved that she was safe and well, you all discussed what had gone on while you were in Grossmauer and the contract that you made with one Oban Saul, a seeming follower of the trickster god and a strange leader to a band of mercenaries and killers known as the Hand of Faith, all followers of the trickster god Ali Damara. This deal you made in exchange for information about Catherine, about your estranged lover, Dazes, as well as information about your past, Floof, and your true heritage in this world. You agreed to assist in the removal and the dispatch of the ruler of the city of Grossmauer, who you were informed was some sort of member of the undead, and that although his family line, quote unquote, had extended for nearly hundreds of years, it was seemingly a ruse, and that this ruler of the city of Grossmauer was none other than the same person for the last hundreds of years or so. After much discussion with Dr. Nightingale and a deeper understanding of the conflict and the understanding and the exchange of information with regards to the mana reactor, and the former city of Ilferen, the once capital city of the former Aelin Empire, or Empire of the Aelin Prima, the ancient elves in the territory now known as the Mithril Badlands, and what's known in this day and age as the Cataclysm. You learned that this strange floating structure that you saw above the city of Callista was none other than this once great elven city. How it got there, you're not quite certain, but you did see in the images that Oban Saul had shared with you all by some strange divine influence that a conflict had taken place with your ancient ancestors, Floof. A group of druidic individuals and the rulers of this former elven city known as Ilferen. And the image that Dr. Nightingale had shared with you, this sort of seed-like or leaf-like image, was none other than the reactor itself that you saw within this image, or this flashback of sorts. You learned a great deal about this ancient conflict, but in addition, it brought up more questions than answers. Why was your ancient heritage involved in this conflict? What did this reactor intend to do? Some of this was answered by Dr. Nightingale. This reactor was intended to draw upon the very life essence of the continent itself. Every living thing containing some form of mana in some way, shape, or form, whether it was able to draw upon it and change upon the world and influence the surrounding world, or if it was simply just the essence of life itself. That same sort of life essence that you had all seen running through the catacombs deep below the city of Callista when the conflict occurred. Additionally, Trash, you learned that your very existence, your very reason for being brought into this world by some happenstance, you yourself were a living embodiment of this life essence, given form, given sentience. And whereas most of these influenced creatures succumb to baser natures, violence, and abomination, your mentor's influence had a varying effect upon you and brought forth the individual that you are today. However, you're not quite certain what brought together this influence, why you suddenly appeared in an otherwise mana depleted area such as the Rosewell Empire, where divine influence and divine magic reigns supreme. But what you see now is a pathway that you were shown in the office of Dr. Nightingale, where he pinpointed multiple locations of such incidents running in this seemingly strange pattern until you began to connect the dots and you see what looks like some sort of arcane sigil spread across the entire continent of Irindal. The pathway, the ley lines set by this seemingly random series of events was in fact the ley lines and the path of travel of this mystery floating city of Ilferen. And when you thought about the incidents you had come to encounter with these aberrant creatures that some individuals referred to as the Vosh, they all seem to follow along these ley lines in some way, shape, or form. In addition to this conversation about ancient magics, ancient conflicts, and the origins of those present, you discussed this pact that you found yourselves in with this Fey entity and this divine entity, and how you might be able to break free from this pact. Dr. Nightingale suggested such an entity may lay within the Rougarou Delta, a strange, unique place, even among unique places on the continent of Irindal, that few individuals dared to travel into, lest they become lost within the strange, ever-changing landscape of this swampy, unruly location. Nevertheless, Dr. Nightingale suggested that a powerful ancient Fey entity reside in this location. But even he did not know the full details of such a presence. Nevertheless, if anyone could potentially break such a pact with another Fey entity, it would be this one. So you all descended into the deltas, deep into the swamps in the south-central portion of the continent of Irindal. There you encountered a number of strange entities, creatures. Most of them avoided you, seemed harmless. You managed to avoid several traps, natural traps, of course, of the environment. But what you did encounter was an entity that you have never seen before, but you have heard tell of. An entity known as a Floof, a sort of jellyfish-like entity that was sentient and very conversational, yet quite flippant in their nature, known as Bernard Soulet de Floof. And after your stretching your magical ties to this world out into the deltas, Floof, you not only encountered this small Fey entity, but you saw the presence of a much more powerful Fey entity deeper still into the deltas. And after some time and the strange guidance of this individual, you found yourselves encountering another less expected entity, structure, perhaps a bit of both. As the large crashes through the canopies of the trees gave way to a powerful, crushing force as this chicken-legged structure slammed down not too far from your very presence in this centralized portion of the deltas. Unsure of where you were in this location, but sure that whatever this was should not be trifled with. And that is where we stand now. As the hut upon these chicken-legged appendages steps down after flying in from above, slamming down on the softened earth around your feet. Dazes and Floof, you managed to escape whatever impact had been rocking the surface around you, but Trash, you were knocked back into a tangle of vines, and you now find yourself restrained on the ground as you look up at this intimidating structure and these avian-like legs clawing their way into the soft earth in front of you. As this structure looms over top of you about 30 feet high, what are you all doing?
Is Soulé still here?
Yes, Soulé is here, and so is Billet is alongside you guys as well.
All right. I
You
guess
said I'm
I'd...
stuck?
Yes, you had failed a dexterity saving throw, and you find yourself restrained currently, and
Can
prone.
I try to gently, untangle myself and get back up?
You can certainly try.
Can I aid?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I think you already have advantage as a plasmoid to escape being grappled or restrained.
I think you are correct. Let me see. I don't remember where I would find that.
It should be up on your athletics check. I think if you scroll over that advantage icon, it should say to escape grapples or restraints.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
So you would have advantage in this situation for an athletics check
Okay.
to escape the restraints.
Okay, 8 and 18. So 18 plus what? So 19.
Okay. You just succeed with the 19.
God
As
dang.
you manage to get out, as you stretch your form out from under these vines that have pinned you down and restrained you. You are still prone, but you can get up. You would just have half your movement.
Okay.
As the structure looms down over you, you see there's a soft orange light from one of the windows facing what looks like a porch that's partially been ripped out of the ground. As the hut-like structure looks down at you like the head of whatever this is, you can see there are other smaller lanterns hanging off of the soffit of the overhanging roof, like vines with gentle orbs hanging and swaying. At the very crest of this apexed roof, you can see the antlers of some sort of deer or elk or some sort of antlered creature, like a gruesome-looking hood ornament. What were you saying, Floof?
I was just gonna ask Sule if is that thing with you?
Oh, no. I tried to stay clear this one. I want no trouble with them. No trouble at all.
And one quick question, just based on, so when I did my nature earlier, I sensed like a larger presence. What I glean, is this the presence, or is this just
Yes.
something else?
This is the apex of the presence that you experienced when you cast Commune with Nature. If this were a light in the darkness, it would be eclipsing all other lights in this location. It is an extremely powerful Fey presence.
I'll maybe almost. Sorry, I'm still recovering from being sick.
It's all good.
I mean, I whispered to Trash and Disease, like, this is what I sensed before. And you said it's, like, looking at us, like, as far as, like, a porch could look at us?
Yes, if the windows, these clouded, fogged, moss-covered windows were like eyes, this one singular, dimly lit eye as it leans down towards your group, sort of eyes you. And you don't see any figures or anything, but that the structure itself seems to have taken notice of your troop.
Do I sense that it's trying to, or that it's watching us, or wants to? Does it seem like a threat?
Give me an insight check.
Is it moving at all as it's watching us, or is it?
Yes, it is gently moving. It's not making any sudden movement, but it's definitely moving.
Okay.
It's not like, it's just kind of rocking a little bit as it sort of, it definitely seems to have acknowledged you. And with that insight check, you can definitely sense that it's acknowledged your presence. You don't sense initial hostility, but it is definitely observing you in some way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, but it's a giant house looming over us, so there's probably at least a mild sense of danger.
Yes.
But okay. I'm looking right back into its eye. Its little house eye. or window eye,
Okay.
and trying to see if I could figure out what it is.
Can I wave and say hello?
You wave and say hello, and you hear the structure slowly creak and the chicken-like legs, one of them digging in a bit deeper into the soil. And as it kind of turns a little in your presence, but not quite, give me a persuasion check, Dazes.
What the hell? Alright. Oh, I'm so bad at those.
As you wave and say hi, you can see that one of the chicken-like legs digs deep into the soil, and the other one kind of kicks at the loose earth and foliage in sort of an aggressive manner as you wave at the structure.
I will, I'll say we mean no harm, and I'll take like a couple steps away, like back.
Have any of you guys ever seen anything like this? You hear Billet kind of, as it stares, you can see him kind of reaching towards the back of his pack slowly for the rifle.
I mean, have I seen anything like this?
Give me a... This is going to be a really high history check, but go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. $16 plus 9 is 25?
Oh my god. Okay, you needed a 24.
Okay.
Was not expecting that, but okay. It
All
is
the books I read.
ever so vague, but you do remember in your early years accompanying Catherine, you read a children's storybook, novel, series of short stories, collection, whatever you want to refer to it as, sort of bedtime stories, if you will. And one of them described a home to some, some would other accounts would call it a laboratory, others would call it a lodge, others would call it a hut, even a coven. But everyone described it, or at least its proprietor, the same way, its owner, if you will, as a powerful, ancient witch.
I will motion for Billet to stop reaching for the rifle. I just kind of shake my head.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
I'll just say this entity is very powerful, and our respect is demanded.
Dazes, as this is, or I'm sorry, Floof, as this is going on, you can see that, I don't know what's the time frame on your commune with nature? It should be a part of the duration.
Yeah, well, it says instantaneous. Let me read it.
Well, that's the casting time.
Casting time is 1 minute, and
Oh, okay.
duration says instantaneous. So maybe it's just
Okay.
a real-time kind of absorption of information.
Sure. I would imagine at this point in time, it would have just begun to fade. We're kind of stretching the extent of the spell.
Sure.
But you definitely sense that this structure is an entity in and of itself. But you also sense the primary source of that Fey power from within the structure. Within the entity that you see before you. Just as your spell begins to fade and your vision returns to normal.
Okay, so just to paraphrase that, I sense that there's something inside of the house that's separate from the entity itself. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah, you sense that the main conduit of the Fey energy that you sense is not the house itself, but an individual or entity within the house, the hut.
Okay. To Floof or to Trash and Dazes, I'll say, I think there's something inside, maybe controlling it or a part of it.
You feel one of the legs strike the ground hard, the talons digging into the mud. And the same sort of like feelers that you put out earlier yourself, Floof, sensing the energies around you. You get the same sort of interpretation from this entity, this structure on legs is digging in and feeling about. You feel like a dull sense of an arcana stretching out from it. Like tiny little tendrils reaching out, touching each one of you, sensing what stands within its presence.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right or wrong reaction, but this is just gonna be based off of how I feel like Floof was raised in the woods and may have encountered something larger than itself. I'm just gonna say to Dazes and Trash, like, show no fear to this creature. Don't let it know you're scared. And I'm gonna just yell to the house or to the thing. We mean you no harm. And I'll drop my hands to my sides. Like, we could maybe assume that I was in a more defensive stance before.
Initially, you don't get a negative reaction from this entity. As the talons dig deep, you feel those tendrils stretch across and around you. It's as if the moss, the algae, the slowly decaying plant life around you is assisting with this sort of widespread discovery of your small troop. Oh, they're looking to see what you're all about. Looking to see what you're hiding within.
I'll say I have nothing to hide.
Trash and Dazes, what are you doing as this is going on?
I want to look around and is the like land around us like also physically moving as we're like standing here in the presence of this?
I would say you notice at least the general foliage around you is definitely reacting.
Okay.
You get a sense that, as I stated previously, it's like as if the plant life, the fauna directly in contact with this entity and these avian-like talons is sort of stretching out like feelers or nerve endings, getting a sense of what is around it. And as those feelers sort of stretch out, you can see Soule kind of dips down low to the ground, touching his own tendrils down to these mossy patches. Oh, they're picking up something. Picking up a sort of scent about you all. Yous have been cavorting with another presence, haven't you?
Unfortunately, yes.
That's a dangerous game you're playing, bringing that here. I don't know what might happen. And you see him slowly lift up off the ground again. She don't like when others come in her territory. She don't like that at all. What were you going to say, Floof?
I wish you didn't ask because I was not gonna. I was thinking about not doing it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say to Dazes and Trash, don't be afraid. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna wild shape into an owl, and I'm gonna fly up to the house.
Okay.
That is a very Floof move.
That's so Floof. That is so Floof.
Explain to me how you approach the structure.
I don't want to use any. I don't want to come off intimidating or anything. So, I don't know if there's. I guess I don't know how to exact this picture is, but like that little, maybe that railing on the left front while you're looking at it. I basically just want to try and get on some kind of perch where maybe maybe in front of a window. I'm not going to peck at the window. I'm not going to do anything. I just kind of want to stand there and look inside in a non-threatening way.
Okay. It doesn't seem to react to your shape-shifting, as if it's seen such magics many times over. And an owl or any type of bird of prey would definitely not be out of place in this region. But the moment you take perch on the outside of the structure, your talons grab hold of the water-soaked wood. You get an immediate initial feedback of arcana and energy. Almost like you were landing upon the arm of a falconeer Like you get it's still cold. It's still like it has the feeling of wood and, you know, rotten lumber and siding and but you also get the sense of like life force within this entity.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom check with your wisdom modifier. So just a straight wisdom check with your spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
Okay. You feel a sudden shudder, but almost like just if an animal or some sort of bird were to land on your shoulder unexpectedly, or like a cat or something, but it's not immediate. Like there's not an immediate violent like repulsion of your landing upon the ledge here. But there's definitely a sense of uncertainty that you get from the energy flowing back where you land. There's a very cognizant understanding of your presence. And you feel like you're being watched very closely.
Okay, so it knows I'm there, but it's not necessarily frightened of me at the moment, or threatened by me. I'll let out a curious little whoo.
You don't hear anything call back, but you still get that sense of being watched, that anxious sense of something is following you closely.
I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna fly or glide, hop out over to the windowsill and look inside.
Okay. You fly towards the windowsill. And what you see, the window itself is very dirty and fogged up from the humidity in this space. But you do see a dull scenery inside the window. And surprisingly, what you see inside the window seems much larger than the actual volume of the house from the outside. But this is what you see inside initially. Like a stonework and rough timber ceiling, tables and chairs, almost like a small hole-in-the-wall tavern somewhere. A pair of hearths, fires burning, and a gentle warmth inside as hanging candles strung up from what looked like some sort of mossy rope tied to the large timbers of wood, and a stone floor, surprisingly, that seems odd considering the rest of this structure is, at least from the outside, appears to be mostly waterlogged timbers and wood structure.
Okay, and do I see any people or anything inside?
Give me a perception check. You see at first the darkened form of an older looking individual. They seem to be hunched over this second fireplace here, kind of tossing bits of twigs and just random chunks of wood broken up, as well as some peat moss that's been dried up near the outside of the hearth. Their clothing, at least what you can see from the back, is very worn, and it's a combination of leathers and old fabrics stitched together with what looks like living vines of sorts. They almost like they look like they could be plucked at any moment and placed back in the soil again. You see beside them there's what looks like a makeshift hand-carved walker in one hand. It's hard to get a grasp of what they are, but you definitely see a form inside this space.
Well, I'm going to give a couple little pecks at the window, almost like I'm knocking.
Give me one more wisdom check, Floof.
Oh, that would be a critical failure.
Oh my god.
As you peck at the glass, it's almost like you feel the structure shudder, as if the sort of same way you would shudder if you were poked in the eye without being warned or expecting it. You hear the heavy timbers of this hut-like structure atop these avian legs like crack and twist like an old building in a storm. And almost like an eyebrow, you see the header, the wooden portion of the top of above the window, almost like crack and twist down to like a scowled shape. And then just on the other side of the window, as you stare into the glass, the figure is gone.
The one that was throwing stuff in the fire?
Yes. But as you look back and you look up at the header beginning to crack and twist into what looks like a twisted scowl above if the window were an eye of the face of this building, this would be sort of the brow beginning to furr and twist into an angered angle. And as you look back to see if you see the person again, you see no individual, but what does greet you is a darkened, twisted, shadowy form, ambiguous and angry, as it slams up against the window, forcing you back off of your perch with shock.
Naughty little bird. Nasty little bird. You aren't welcome here.
And you feel this gust of wind. Give me a strength or give me an athletics or an acrobatics check, Floof, as this massive gust of wind pushes out from the window that opens up suddenly, as this shadowy gust of wind slams against you. You manage to stay aloft, but only just, as this gust of wind pushes you away And as you regather your stability in the air, you see that the front-facing facade of this house, almost like a face, turns up and looks at you. And what was a gentle glowing yellow is now a blood red light.
Oops.
And you can see if the front facade of this building were a face, it is scowling. The siding cracked like the furring brow of a person's forehead. And you can see all in one sort of dexterous motion, this structure leaps up into the air and goes to strike at you with one of its talons. That is a 27 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. As the talon comes down in a sort of crushing, clawing motion, inhibiting you from escape, it slams down on top of you. You take 15 bludgeoning damage as you are slammed into the ground beneath the avian claw of this structure. How many hit points does your owl form have?
That's just what I was looking up. Less than 15. So yeah.
So you transform back into your normal form. Whatever the difference would be, you take as damage to your normal form.
Okay, you said it was 15?
Yeah, 15 total bludgeoning.
Okay. Got it.
And with that, as you see this claw begin to rise up once more, as if planning to make another strike, I need everyone to roll initiative.
If this thing hits for 15 HP every time, it's gonna be rough.
Oh my god, man, you were just rolling all over the place today.
I know.
I'm going to put you closer over here, Floof, since you were under the clawed foot of this thing. I also need to add...
me.
Need to add...
As I fall to the ground, I'll say to my party, I made it mad.
That you did.
Did it too early. Again.
I stay doing that.
Where is it? There it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. I keep forgetting to pull up this thing. I can just add you guys to the list here. Let me add billet here. We'll just... if you want to roll again, and we'll... because it was my mistake, I'll take the higher quantity. So you get a free advantage off of me. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
So you'll click your token and then roll initiative, and that should put you on the tracker.
Okay. Token is
Just
clicked.
need to get...
And then I click roll initiative. That one was a critical success.
My god, man, the duality of your dice right
Crit
now.
fail, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
You could, if you could adjust it, you could meet me in the middle. But
No, I said
Alright.
I said what I said.
All right.
Okay. All right, that's 18 for Billet. So let me get him on here.
Should I roll again?
It's up to you. You can keep the one you want if you want.
Yeah,
It
might
doesn't.
as well.
Ugh.
It's exactly the
Same.
same. Man, we are just all over the place here. Trash, where are you at on your...
I rolled a 21.
Okay. Do you want to click your token and roll? That way I can just get you on the counter and then I'll change it to a 21.
Sure. How do I do it? I never linked.
Oh, you never licked him?
Like-
Okay, never mind then. Don't worry about it. I can just add you here. It's a separate extension for Chrome called Beyond 20 that links the two together.
Okay.
I can show you where it is after this session. All right.
Well, it looks like you really pissed her off. Should have been a bit more careful in the way that you approached. You could always try to run, but that might not work either.
But with that,
Shut
Floof
up,
is...
you're no help.
As you lay from the crushing force of the clawed chicken-like talon on the ground, it is your turn, however.
Well, I have two options in my head that I'm thinking of. Cause like I don't want to just start running away, but it did just whack me out of the ground. Part of me wants to try to go up there again. I'm just gonna, for now, I think I am just gonna run away. I'm gonna start running and say, run and get to high ground is what I'll say.
Okay. Just so you all are aware, the patches you see that are like a darker blue color are considered difficult terrain as they are swampy, thick, are wet ground. Right now you guys are not
Well,
in that
like
terrain,
this
but
and
yeah, if you were to
this.
step on there, your movement speed is halved. Additionally, Floof, you're within the structure's melee range right now. So if you step out of that, you will take an attack of opportunity.
All right. Well, I didn't think about that, so I'm gonna do something. I'm doing the stupid thing instead.
Okay. We like stupid things. Sometimes stupid things work.
I am turning. Forget what I said about running. Well, actually, no. I said run away and get to high ground. But that's for you guys. What I'm gonna do is turn into an eagle this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly straight up. Yeah, let me know when I'm out of movement, I guess.
Well, what is
that I'm
the
level.
fly speed of the eagle?
That's really.
I think it's 60 if I remember correctly. And are we talking a large eagle? What's the size of your eagle form?
I'm gonna go like a smaller one, I think.
Okay. So like a
'cause I need to fit through the window. So.
okay.
Spoiler alert.
Okay.
So
I'm here
my
for it.
flying speed is 60 feet.
Okay. You could definitely get up to the window again if you were to turn into an eagle.
Well, I'm doing that, and then I'm crashing into the glass window,
Okay.
trying to get inside.
Does your eagle form have like a talon attack or a beak attack? What?
It does have talons, yes.
Okay.
So we'll say I attack with talons.
Okay, so you stretch out your talons, aiming them directly for the glass. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Wait, did that actually work? Oh, it did. There you go. Oh wait, that was for damage.
Yeah, it should be a D20
This.
plus whatever the modifier is for the Talon attack. Okay.
It was a 10.
A 10? You
Yeah.
come careening towards the glass, and just at the last second, you watch as the whole structure turns, and one of the front posts, this left post holding up the overhang of the porch, slams into you, knocking you away. You don't take any damage, but you're definitely batted away like a fly trying to bite the rear end of a horse.
Okay. That would be my actions, I suppose.
Okay.
Unless you would think I have enough movement to create a little distance, but still flying at that level.
You could certainly try. If you move more than 10 feet
never
away,
mind.
you would take attack. Yeah, I would say
No,
you have
I'm
about 20 foot of movement left.
I'll stay where in front of it.
Okay.
If not for myself for my a next attack, but to distract it because I would say that I'm concerned about my friends.
Yeah, just so you're all aware, it's about from the ground level up to the apex of the roof is about, I would say, about 35 feet tall.
Hmm, 35. Okay, 35.
Just if any questions or future actions pertain to the total height of this building, I would say it's about a little over we'll say right around 40 from the I'm sorry, I said to the apex of the roof, so 35, yes. So basically from ground level to the highest point of the roof. Trash, we are on to you. Just as you are collecting yourself after squeezing out from these tendrilled vines all around you, you now find yourself combating this strange hut with legs. What do you do?
It's more like I'm saying this to the group, if anything. Like we came here to strike a deal. Not I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight her. Right? And I'm looking at my group just to kind of see what they say, but in the meantime, just in case this does get a little nasty, I will say I'm just gonna maybe cast, if I can, cause one. I'm gonna cast the Aura of Vitality. Like,
Okay.
Just in case things get nasty. But I don't think. Let's see. It is one action, and yeah, I'm just gonna cast it. Just out of preservation's sake, just to be like, in case things get a little rough, but I don't want to fight, like, and ultimately.
Okay. And you cast that on multiple creatures?
It's an aura that comes from me, so it's like,
okay.
So it's a 30-foot radius for me being in the center of it.
Got it. Okay.
And
so yeah, you would affect everybody in your
Yeah, and then in future rounds, as a bonus action, I can elect to choose someone within the aura to regain 2d6 hit points.
Got it. All right. Well, you cast your aura, and you all feel this sort of this enveloping, soft. Well, you tell me, what color would this aura be, Trash?
I think it is kind of like that lunarium,
The soft blue.
bluish hue,
Okay.
but I think maybe a little bit brighter
Okay.
and more and like lighter than we're used to seeing. It's almost it's very similar,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Do you think I would have heard Trash say, our intentions aren't to fight this from where I am?
I would imagine
I mean,
you.
I tried to say it.
Yeah, I would imagine you would
Okay.
hear it.
group,
You're not
so
far away.
hopefully-
I don't know how I would communicate this as an eagle, but I'll do my best to do like an agreeing caw. I don't know.
Trash, is there anything else you want to do?
Is there anything worth holding in action? Let's see.
Was Aura Vitality a bonus action or an action?
It is an action. That's why I was like,
Okay.
I don't think I could really hold anything to do anyway, because most of my actions.
Right.
are-
You can't hold. I don't think you can hold a bonus action, but you can hold
Oh,
a.
okay, then there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I mean, you could use your Aura Vitality on Floof, who just took damage, if you wanted to.
Oops,
But
my bad. I totally missed that. Yeah. Let's do that.
If
Let's
you
do
want.
that.
Wait,
Yeah, so I'll
that's
do
not like a
that.
one-time thing? Is that like
Every
turn?
turn,
Oh, okay, cool.
as long as I have it up. So that was 3 and then a 5, so 8.
so you regain 8 hit points.
Nice.
Okay. You do have your Steel Defender, Trash Panda.
That's true. You said this is like moving through, like
Difficult.
It's
So
difficult
difficult terrain?
terrain. Yeah, the water would be difficult, muddy terrain.
okay, but this little like island is not considered that.
No, not currently. No.
Okay, I guess I can kind of move. So maybe like 5.
It would just be double
And it would
movement
have-
across the water areas, unless you want to try to jump.
No, I don't know if Panda is a jumper. I would say 5, 10.
I don't know. It'd be kind of funny. Feel like watching a raccoon try to jump into a dumpster.
Yep. I'll say, yeah. I mean, I think you'd have to go quite far. Yeah, I got around here just to kind of in front us, like kind of
Okay.
like a sentinel style, like guarding us a little bit.
Okay. Dazes, we are on to you.
Okay. So first, I'll also respond to Trash. And say, I do agree. I would rather not get into a battle with this being. But I suppose at this point we may have to calm it somehow. Or at least show that we're not a threat to it. I'm not sure exactly how we might go about doing that. And then I don't know. With my action, I guess I'll use my bonus action to ready patient defense. And like I'll spend a key point
Okay.
to use to ready patient defense bonus action.
Okay. You take a
Just in case
defensive
something-
stance as you prepare for the worst. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'd also like to. Are there any trees, like not fallen trees around?
The one right in front of your companion Floof is the closest one.
Okay.
The canopy of this one, the trunk, it looks like just a stump, but it's actually just the trunk going up. The canopy would extend, like, the chicken-legged hut structure is, like, almost in contact with the canopy. The canopy kind of goes in between the Floof and the kind of overextends over the top of Floof.
Mm-hmm.
In this general area, I would say. It goes up about 20 feet to the top of the canopy.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought of something else I wanted to say, but I guess I can't really. How do we know how far its range is in terms of is there just some regular like next to it melee range?
You're not quite sure.
Okay.
You would imagine it's quite far with the size of those
Yeah.
legs
Right.
and just the general size of it.
I'll go ahead and I'm not gonna move too much. I'm just gonna move like here.
Okay.
Or I don't know whether that's still on land or in water.
That would still just be at the edge of the water. I think you have some sort of ability that lets you avoid difficult terrain, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I couldn't find it specifically. I think I found something that says I can like.
Oh, that's one of your key point abilities, actually.
That's why I could.
Yeah, because I think you can move through difficult terrain if you spend a key point or something like that. It's like freedom of movement or something like that.
It might even be a passive ability once you hit a level. I can't remember if you have to use a key point.
Defense,
I play a monk
strike.
in my other campaign. I can't remember.
Step of the Wind is what it's called.
Step of the wind.
I think part of it is freedom of movement, but I think it doubles your movement speed as well. But let me take a quick look here. Features and traits. You can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during the move. Okay. Unarmored movement improvement. I think that's what that is. So you could walk across liquids with your turn without falling during the move. I would say in that instance, this would not inhibit your movement.
Okay.
You're also a water genasi, so I think you're fine because this is technically just water. So you already have a swim speed, so you really wouldn't be slowed down by it either way. So I would say you don't have inhibited movement.
Okay. Well, in any case, I don't really know where to move. Is this another tree over? I forget how you ping. Or
Push it. Yes, that is a tree coming up out of the water. It's kind of the trunk and the roots are sunken into the water itself. Yeah, these like dark circular spots are just the trunks sticking up past the surface of the map. So that way it doesn't cover up the floor level, but you still see the trunk.
Okay.
It's up to you. What would you like to do?
What would I like to do? Um, I think I'm gonna move here. I'm trying to get like sort of behind the tree, like line of sight from it, but
Okay.
also not in, hopefully not enter its range of attack, whatever that may be.
It's melee range.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, I'll keep my patient defense ready, and then I'll go over here behind the tree to try to like break this line of sight a little bit, stay out of its way. And I guess I will just wait because I don't want to actively attack it. I
Okay.
think that may be against our goals. But I did want to spread out a little bit, just
Sure.
in case, because if it attacks,
As you move
if it
away,
has some
Billet
multi-
draws
attack,
his rifle. So, what are we doing here? Am I gonna shoot it? What are we doing here? As you can see, he's readying an action to fire should this thing attack. As he's got the rifle trained on it. Anybody? Otherwise, I'm gonna shoot it in the leg.
Try to keep some distance between you, and don't fire yet. And
All right. But if that thing comes after us, I'm gonna pull the trigger, I promise you. And he's gonna hold his action. The walking hut. Having been seemingly poked in the eye by you, Floof, you can see that it turns and looms down directly over top of you, like the window itself is some sort of eye of this creature as it stares down at you. You see... It is going to turn, and as it leans down and looks at you, Floof, you see that there's this small stone chimney sticking out of the top of it, like almost in the center, that you didn't see before. And as it leans down, you can see something beginning to drip out of the chimney, and this putrid green and black slurry falls down towards you. I need you to make... let's see, is anybody... No, I think Trash Panda's just out of reach. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, that is a failure. You take 10 poison damage, and you are poisoned.
Was the eagle poisoned, or am I poisoned?
Well, how many hit points does your eagle form have?
10.
10. You transform back. And you fall.
Okay.
So, you are currently about... I would say about 25 feet up, so that is an additional 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you come crashing down to the swampy floor and you slam up against the back of this tree trunk. As you cough up some of this poisonous vapor that seeped out of the chimney opening directly over top of you. As this happens, you hear Billet cry out again to all of you. Is that enough? Do you want me to fire or what? I got the shot!
I'm gonna yell shoot the window.
Okay. He's gonna go ahead and shoot the window then. Give me a sec here. He is going to fire his hunting rifle. This is a weapon, Trash, that you saw the butt end of, but you've never seen him actually fire it. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and fire this. What is the modifier? Oh my god, I forgot how gross that modifier is. Alright. Ooh, yeah, that hits. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and roll here. What is that damage? That is okay. Alright. Ooh. That is 22 damage. And he is going to... Is he going to spend one of his grip points? I think he is. I don't need that. Where's the one I'm looking for? Yeah, he's going to try to use a winging shot to try to trip this thing up. So I'm going to roll this on the table here. I think it's a strength check. So this thing has a plus 14 to its strength. So this is going to be a...
Jesus.
Yeah. It's a giant chicken-legged house.
Okay.
So the likelihood of it falling is not high, but it has to roll a 4 or below. So I'm going to roll this on the table. No, it stays up. But the window definitely cracks, and you hear this beastly screech coming from somewhere. Like the house itself is screeching, and the lumber is like twisting and cracking as it shakes back and forth angrily, having been struck seemingly in what you could only imagine is, if this thing had a face, would be directly in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say.
It only has the one
nice
window.
shot. I want to get inside, or try. I'll say try to get inside. I'll
Okay.
suggest that to everybody.
Did the window break or did it just crack?
It didn't completely break, but it definitely is cracked. Like it's spider webbed all the way through. It's like as if somebody threw. It looks like somebody threw a rock at like the windshield of a car. Like it sprung back, but it didn't completely shatter. Like something, almost like a force is keeping it from completely shattering. Like there's some sort of repelling force from the opposite end. You know, didn't really see anything, Floof, but you definitely got the sense that there's like this whole entity itself is almost like a living, breathing entity.
Okay.
Even though it's shaped like a giant house. Speaking of Floof, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I will be casting Spider Climb,
Okay.
which is gonna let me move up and down vertical surfaces. while leaving my hands free. So I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna try to run up at one of its legs
Okay.
and try and climb
I'm here
myself
for
up
it.
to the
Okay.
back up to the window.
All right. You do have to get up from prone as you fell from the air. So right now you only have 15 foot of movement. But you could definitely get most of the way up to the bottom of the house.
Well, gotta start somewhere. I'll do
You're
that.
basically you're basically at the top of the leg, like where the hip joint would be if this thing had a hip.
Okay, and I don't know how skinny these legs are, but my focus is to
They're like the
not,
thickness of a decently sized tree each, and they're very muscular. I mean, they look like chicken legs, or some sort of bird-like avian claw or talon. I mean, they're not unlike the talons that you just had momentarily ago, as both an owl and an eagle.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just try to dig my grip into it, just to hold on tight until I could
Okay.
make more move.
All right. Trash, we're back to you. What are you doing?
Oh boy. I will. I guess so. Floof was saying we should try to go into the hut. Is that what you're?
He was trying to get
I
through.
I said like go through the window, basically. So what
You can
my
see even at
suggestion
this
was.
distance, Trash, that the window has been cracked. It's not completely shattered, but it is spider webbed out, as if like a rock had definitely broken it, but it hadn't completely like shattered it in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess. I'm just deciding how stupid I want to be.
I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could. I'm not the best climber. Sure, let's do something silly. So for my bonus action, while I still have the Aura of Vitality up, the only person that's taken damage so far is Floof, correct?
Correct.
On our okay. So I rolled the 2d6, and that was it was a 5 and a 6, so 11
Okay. So you regain 11 hit
points.
points.
Healing, and then this is the stupidity part.
It's only stupid when it doesn't work.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I will do the following. I am going to okay, is there, I guess, because this is how I interpret this. So I was going to try to vortex warp myself.
Okay.
Like onto or like up near the hut itself.
Does Vortex Warp allow you to use it on yourself?
It let's see. Oh no, I guess it's a target. So
Right.
well,
so I
I
don't
feel
think
like-
you can target yourself with it.
no, but Dazes is pretty, cool monk shit. So maybe Billet?
I mean, either or. It's up to y'all.
Yeah, I was planning on doing some wild, crazy shit too, so you can go with Billet. That's okay.
All right, I'm gonna say Billet. Just hang on.
Wait.
I'm-
Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm getting you. I'm getting you in the hut, or as close to the hut. And then, so yeah, I will cast Vortex Warp.
I don't know. And you watch as he just sinks into the ground, and suddenly vanishes onto the adjacent patio. You see like this exhaust gas coming out as if he breathes, but you definitely can tell there's like this anxiety of this situation as he suddenly vanishes and reappears and pops up on the porch of this strange structure with legs.
You're welcome. You don't have to climb, because I don't know how I'm gonna get up there. So.
Okay.
Yeah, for my final, because that was my bonus action, my action. So yeah, I'm just 5.
Okay.
What is it, 5? And then that's only half. So 10 to get, or 15.
15 and then 25 to get up beside Floof.
25. And that's me and old Panda.
Okay.
We
All
start
right.
the vertical.
Dazes, we're on to you. What are you doing?
Well, I was gonna climb the chicken legs.
Okay. I'm here
but
for it.
But now I'm thinking, would it be easier to try to make it fall? So actually, no. Now Billet's up there, so that would be kind of. Then Billet would fall 30 plus feet. I was thinking maybe it might be easier to make the hut ground level. That'd be easier to.
You can certainly try.
But I want to ask though, is there like a visible door on the hut at all? Like on the outside
Yeah,
of the hut?
Billet's basically teleported like right. The door is to the right of the window.
Next to the window. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a door. Okay.
Sorry,
So
I thought
I
that
guess
was
from-
self-explanatory, so I didn't mention it.
No, you're good. I assumed. I just want to confirm.
Right.
And is it from underneath it? Is it similar to the picture in which like the legs are like if I were to climb these legs, would I have to like would I be more underneath the hut and not like on like the outside of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's about a
Kinda like-
5-ish foot gap from like where the legs
Mhm.
protrude out the center of the hut to
like, the
to the
wall.
edge of the edge of the patio, I guess. And then it's basically the front portion there. I would say probably a little bit more on the front, maybe like 10 foot. But nothing a dexterous individual couldn't potentially, overcome. You just kind of
Okay,
have to
gotcha.
American Ninja Warrior to your way to the patio.
Usually.
And how tall is this tree that I line of sighted earlier?
The tree between
That's what
you
it
and
is.
the hut I would say it's about 20 foot, roughly. It's about the same size as the one that Floof is directly in front of. They're roughly about the same size.
So can I don't know if I have to make a roll to this, but I'm trying to observe like what's the reasonable like highest point of this tree I could like if there where they have like a branch that's thick enough for me to stand on versus
I would
like
say
the height
about,
inside.
yeah, like 16, 17. We'll just call it 20. Round it up to 20. Would be the sturdiest branch. I mean, but depending on how fast you're running, you wouldn't need to be super sturdy. Just enough to get you in
Yeah.
position. I would say about 20 feet up.
Okay. Trying to think what would be easier. I'm climbing if I climb this tree, then there'd probably be a gap that I'll put the tree to the hut. Or I could just climb the legs of the hut. And that might be more straightforward, but probably more dangerous since I'm climbing on the legs of the thing that's trying to kill us.
Yeah, I'd say there'd be about like a 15-foot gap between the edge of the canopy, and then you'd be jumping upwards too, so there's probably another 5 or 10 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like 20, 25 foot. You could be done. It would definitely take not an unachievable roll, but one that was, higher than normal.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your intent is to try to run off the canopy and try to leap towards the entrance.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess I'll try the tree first. Because I think I might be able to make the jump.
Okay. So if you were
I
to
guess I'm trying
run
to
up
make
or
the risk
climb up
regardless.
the tree, if you were to run up, it would be a dexterity to try to run up the side of the trunk and kind of, ninja your way up to it, and then
Oh, yeah.
that'd be about 20 foot, and then you'd have maybe about a 5 to 7 foot runway before you'd have to make the 20 or so foot leaping long jump to
I'm definitely running the whole way.
Okay. Oh, to keep your
'Cause
momentum.
I think I have a thing where I can run up vertical surfaces.
Okay.
And like keep my speed.
Okay. I believe you
I really
probably
like
do
the
as
second
well.
one.
I mean, you are a monk.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but I think I already read
I
it.
think my monk could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unarmored movement improvement. You can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during.
Okay.
Process.
Yeah, then you could. Yeah, it's basically like having a climbing speed.
Yeah.
So you don't inhibit yourself or have to make athletics checks. So yeah, you could definitely do that. It would just be basically a running long jump off of the canopy, which would lower the DC a little bit since you do have the momentum running up. So you wouldn't have to like stop and then make the horizontal run in a short span.
Yeah.
So you could definitely do it.
So I'm gonna make a jump. I'm going for it.
Okay. I will say as you run up the edge of this tree, leaping off of the branches back and forth, maintaining your momentum, and as you get to the top branch, grabbing onto it and keeping that momentum going as you lean forward just to the edge of the canopy before you kick off, go ahead and give me a... Ooh, this is sort of a... Well, you
If
tell
I try
me
to front
how...
flip also, can it be an acrobatics check?
I was about to say, how are you doing this? Yes, you try to carousel and launch your momentum forward in a sort of acrobatic way. I will allow an acrobatics check and not an athletics check.
Let's go.
This is going to be a 21 is what you need to meet this.
Okay.
So let's see.
Doable, but definitely also not doable. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
I peer away.
Oh yeah.
basically just
Hell
doing
yeah.
a running somersault. You launch yourself like you're running up to a springboard. The branch just about to snap before boom, just launching you airborne. And with that roll, I would say you have enough momentum that you are easily able to aim yourself towards that front door. If you want to try to
Can I aim towards the window instead?
I mean, you can aim towards the window or the door. What are you aiming towards? You tell me.
Oh, I'm trying to think which one's easier. I guess the window. The window seems like it's probably easier to break. Though I'm imagining myself like doing a flying kick towards it.
Okay. Because of
so
the
I
nat
can flank-
20, I will
flank.
give you advantage on the attack roll to try to
Okay.
break through the window.
If it's do unarmed strike. Alright, well, not great.
That was you rolled double nat ones with advantage?
Yep.
Whoa.
Wow.
I mean, I hit
To
the
go
20,
from
I
a
hit
nat
ones.
20 to double ones on
Double
advantage.
Is wild.
Insane.
The duality of these dice right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Are you
okay,
sure you
because
didn't
Dazes
roll with
invented parkour.
disadvantage? Okay. I've seen double 20s on a disadvantage. I've never seen double ones on advantage. That's crazy.
First time for everything.
That is wild. Anyway, with all that momentum rolling forward, you feel like you could do anything. And you go to strike. Are you kicking or are you punching?
It's supposed to be a kick.
Okay. You go to make a flying kick towards the window, and with that extra momentum, you misjudge, and you end up driving your leg into the lower window ledge before you hit the actual glass, and it is solid waterlogged wood.
Glad I didn't go for the door.
You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the lower wall below the window. You are on the patio, but it definitely hurt hitting that wall with that much momentum.
In 35 years, I'm going to need knee surgery.
You're definitely going to be feeling that one in the morning.
You feel like a twinge, and you're like, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Technically, you still have your second attack. You are you're prone on the ground right now, but you are technically within melee range of whatever you want to hit. You still have your second attack.
Yeah, I guess I'll just punch the window. I'm punching the window out of frustration that I couldn't kick the window.
I would imagine you slam up against the window and you're like, oh, my back, and you just reach up and like with the back of your hand try to break the glass with the back of your fist. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
It's been ridiculous, man.
Okay, 20 is what you needed. That just hits. Go ahead and roll damage. God, the dice have just been fucking wild this session. Oh. Okay. Another strike as you slam into this glass and more fractured pieces. It doesn't break fully, but you hear this as this cry of like anger and pain from this entity that is the hut. As more of this glass, it looks like it is just barely holding on without shattering. I believe you still have your bonus action.
I do, and I'm considering what I want to do with it. might just punch those windows some more. Did it look like when I punched it? Did it get further cracked? Like, did it look like?
Oh yeah, it definitely cracked more. Like at this point, the spider webs are like all the way out to the frame. Like 1 or 2 more good strikes would definitely do it. Like, and as you hit it too, you feel that same sort of. You're not as attuned to Arcana as your 2 companions, but you definitely felt some sort of like resistance that you didn't expect with glass, almost like you were hitting flesh more than glass. Like it was definitely hard, but there was definitely some give to it that you didn't expect from a glass material.
Oh, no, never. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and use my bonus action and use a key point during my bonus action to make my 2 additional options.
Okay.
Let's see what this goes. It's the first one.
Unfortunately, a 19 just misses.
Okay. Second one.
27 definitely hits, though. Go ahead and roll damage.
I got one of them.
Another strike. It is ever so close to breaking. As you strike another fist, you just slam the end of your fist into this glass, going with everything you have, trying to break it again. Stand back, friend. I got this. I got this. You hear Billet as he loads another shell into his rifle at point blank range. Is that all you're doing, Dazes?
Yeah, I think I'm out of actions and stuff. I mean, I guess I'll move out of the way of the window, like 5 foot step. Whatever.
You duck out of the way as Billet just jams the rifle barrel right at the centermost point of the crack after loading a cartridge and goes to fire. Typically, this would be an attack at melee. Oh, wait. He's got the gunner feat. It doesn't matter. So logically, this doesn't matter anyway. And he's going to use I think, yes, he's going to pump in a Deadeye shot. So this is an advantage either way. And he is going to pull the trigger at point blank range. Yeah, that's a 23 to hit. As you hear the charge sink down into the barrel, and just a fraction of a second later, just a massive gout of fire and blast from this as the glass shatters. And initially, Dazes, you see the shattering of glass, and you feel the force and the blowback as it shoots into the structure. But what happens next, as the shattering glass gives way, as if you punctured a hole in the bottom of a pool. It's as if energy has gone from forcing its way in to being drawn in. Like you opened up a vortex and you all suddenly feel this suction-like force from the broken window. As Billet and Dazes, you are initially just drug in through this window into what feels like a space far larger than it should be for the size of the exterior of this hut. And as this entity screeches and wails from the broken facade, separating it from the outside world, that same suction-like force separating now as if this pressure differential has been broken between the outside world and the inside of this hut. Dazes and Billet, you are sucked in, slightly compressed as you do so, and then shot back into this open space. Additionally, Floof, Trash, and your Steel Defender, Trash Panda, you begin to feel this force as well as it wails and slings this hut-like structure back and forth, the talons slamming down, trying to pin itself down as whatever magical barrier has been broken from the outside. And as it goes to crash down in front of you just before it slams down on top of the three of you, you feel that same vacuum-like magical force suck the three of you up directly through that same opening where the broken window once was. One at a time, right into this extra dimensional space between the outside world and this hut-like space. For the moment, we are out of initiative as you find yourselves inside this strange, mobile structure. As you are flung onto this stone floor between wooden tables, you hear the crackle of fire. The slow dribble of rainfall outside is soothing as you are ungraciously flung onto this stone floor between the tables. You hear the shake and rattle, but even though you saw this structure outside shaking about violently in all directions, the space inside is calm and subdued and still. At least until a voice calls from the shadows of one of the corner of the room.
What are you all doing here? What brings you to my home? Why are you here? And why do you bring his stench into my home?
And as you turn, you don't see a form, but a shadow on the wall. A looming shadow nearly 20 feet tall that goes up the wall and up to the ceiling, where you see this eyeless face, this huge shouldered form and long spindly arms and fingertips, almost like it's wrapping around the room in the shadows around you as it stares at you. The eyeless sockets of this shadow staring down at you from the ceiling as you all are flung to the floor.
Speak now, or it will be your last mistake in this world.
And you can feel this haunting presence, this enveloping, oppressive, shadowy form stretching over the room, so much so that the hearths that are on either side of the room are being smothered by its presence, lowering the temperature around you.
Speak!
It demands. What do you all do?
I'll say we wish to be rid of his stench, and from our understanding, this was where we should go to do so.
Who sent you?
The Crow Man, I'll say.
They sent you. Let me guess, the one that calls himself Nightingale.
I'll nod.
Yet he has no gall, no courage to come himself. He sends fools to my door. Fools marked by another.
I'm not a fool.
You're kind of a fool, but it's okay.
What? Look, can you help us or not?
You break into my home. You shatter my window. You shatter my peace. What?
I tried to knock. You attacked first.
You are one of them. I have not seen your kind in near millennia. How strange.
And suddenly you see the focus pull from you, Floof, to you, Trash.
And you... a sentient monster.
One of one.
And you carry with him... you carry a scent of him. It is so faint, but I can sense his teaching in you. That meddlesome turtle.
My master.
Turtle.
You know my master.
I know him well.
You were raised by turtles?
In a sense.
I was raised by a bear.
It's kind of
Last
similar.
time he was
We can talk
here,
about it.
he finished all my drinks and paid me nothing.
What did he owe you?
He promised me an interesting story. Yet he left at dawn with nothing. A meddlesome heir to a deadline. A monster. A debtor. And a meddlesome metal man with the spirit of a dwarf trapped inside. What an
How do you know
odd bunch
all
you are.
What was that?
How do you know all of this about us?
I see the threads of time. What is, what wasn't, and what might be. Like the inner weavings of a tapestry. I can see when a stitch is out of place. What the artist intended it to be. And every now and again, a little pull.
And as she says the word pull, you feel the ground, which was once hard and rocky and sort of uneven, becomes soft and sort of smooth and moving. And as you look down all around you, what was once rock and stone floor seems to move about you in a serpentine manner. And you feel and hear a soft as the entire ground around you is just a pit of snakes. As they coil over and under you and all around you. You can see some of them looking at you, these yellowy snake eyes, as they hiss, and you can see dripping fangs as they seem to encircle and ensnare, and nothing bites, but you could sense even one wrong movement, and you would be bitten numerous times over again and again and again.
This would probably be a bad time to say that my initial reaction to all the snakes is to rip them off of me.
I will not be doing that.
Such insolent, unwanted guests. Good for nothing in this world, but...
And suddenly, as she's just about to cry out and curse you more, you hear a soft, beautiful voice speak out from across the room.
Auntie B, you let them go right now. Well, not for them, we wouldn't be here right now.
It's a voice you've heard before. It's been some time. A calm, seductive voice. And as you slowly turn as to not agitate the serpent surrounding you now, you see a familiar face. A young woman in a dark black gown. A seductive singing voice from an unexpected train ride several weeks prior. And then another voice. More brash, coarse, from an elvish-looking man with a fiery head of hair. Literally, a fiery head of hair. Yeah, as much as I don't like these folks, they did do us a favor and a solid on that train. Well, not for them, I'd probably be covered in a lot more fire than I am right now. As you recognize the evening singer aboard the Railway Tavern and the former bartender of that same establishment, standing on the other side of the room as the shadowy entity stares down at you from the ceiling, and then over at them slightly.
These fools are the ones that helped you, my dear.
Of course, Auntie B. They're the ones who helped us off the train. They're the ones that done did away with that awful land baron. Well, at least kept us from being did away by something we didn't commit. Give me just a moment here.
You can see a very surprised look on my face. I'm very surprised. did not expect to see them here of all
Of all
places.
people, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, can we at least have a conversation, Auntie B, please? I understand they're a bit odd. Some of them especially a bit more than others. But they're good people, I promise. If they say they came to find help, I say we listen to them. Fine. Let's talk. You watch as the shadowy form across the ceiling and the walls begins to shrink and fall and fade as the light begins to swell up ever so faintly and return to a normal glow within this room. And just as you take a breath from this daunting presence enveloping you, you feel the slithering feeling of the floor begin to vacate as you find yourself on the hard, stony surface once more. Give me just a moment here, and I will pull up the individuals I'm referring to here. Where is it? Did I add them? I thought I did. Maybe I... Oh, I know why. Here we go. Yeah, that's why. But first, the beautiful, fair-skinned, elvish-looking young lady that had sang beautiful ballads and jazzy tunes by the name of Veridi Belay.
Malay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nothing.
I for a second I saw her name and thought of Billet.
Yeah.
Like name.
They're spelled the same, they're pronounced differently.
Okay.
But are you guys able to see that image?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to put it in post later. I apologize. For some reason, it's not coming up on my other screen here. And then, of course, the fiery-haired, elvish or half-elvish-looking man, Rivo. Oops. Why is that not showing? Did that come up for you guys?
That one did it, but I
Okay.
do see
Hold
it
on.
in the art.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. And at first glance, you would perhaps assume that this man was a fire genasi, but no. He seems to be half elvish in heritage, but for some reason, where hairline would start, there's just a slowly roaring plume of flame across the top of his head. Yet he doesn't seem to be in pain. But he's definitely on fire. Well, you folks are real lucky. Auntie B usually doesn't like guests that are unannounced, especially ones coming with, coming through, unscrupulous means. And he reaches down a hand, to you, Dazes, to help you up. And then,
I'll take the hand.
he helps lift you up, and then proceeds to help pick you up as well, Floof, reaching out the same hand. As Veridi comes behind you, Trash, and helps lift you up off the ground.
And I'll respond to him by saying our apologies. Sometimes our bodies move a bit quicker than our minds get a grasp of the situation.
That they do. That they do, unfortunately.
As you hear a third voice standing beside you, or behind you, as you're lifted up, unsure of how they got there, but you see the form of a rather short-looking, hunched-over, elderly, human-looking woman with gray hair, black-rimmed glasses, with a hand-carved walker. The same form that you saw earlier, Floof, as you looked through the window. A mossy, greenish, turquoise cloak, a soft leather shawl, this hand-carved walker, as she kind of steps out from behind you all and begins to step towards one of the seats with a soft velvet cushion on it, and slowly sits down as Rivo runs over to help her take a seat.
Good to see your manners haven't escaped you like your hairline, Rivo.
As you can hear him kind of force out a chuckle.
Feeling the sense that we're out of immediate danger, I feel like Floof's instincts are to get his surroundings. My first thought is, was it raining before we entered this place, like outside of the house?
No, not heavily anyway. It might have been moist and damp outside due to the swampy nature, but you definitely get the sense that, at least in the surrounding area right now, you get the sense that it's what sounds like rainfall outside. You look back at the broken window, or what you thought was a broken window, and now all you see is a boarded up opening. You're not sure how it got there. You just see that it's been boarded up and shut.
You'll have to repair that later. You owe me.
Pretty much ignoring her, I'm going to ask, more curious than like rude, I guess, is where are we?
You're in my home. Typically, one would knock before they came into another person's home they do not know.
I did knock.
You knocked on the window. Typically, one uses the door.
Well, I was an owl at the time.
I
Owls
see
don't have
that.
hands.
I can see the manners of your people haven't improved over 800 years. Always so fixated on the natural world, and yet natural manners seem to escape you all.
800 years? Who are you talking to?
She stares.
No one here is 800.
She stares at you, Floof.
You know so little of your lineage, don't you, child?
Here we go again. Everyone's trying to tell me I'm this and I'm that. I just want to kill the guy who killed my mother.
You come from an ancient druidic line, child. I can sense the energy all over you. I knew their people many, many decades ago.
All right, so for this, I'm going to ask a question that's maybe a little... does everyone know what a druid is? Bert is gleaning that druids haven't existed in a while, and I don't know if Floof would know what a druid is. Before I ask, I just want to
You haven't really heard the term druid before.
Okay.
You innately know that you know some sort of strange language. You don't know where you learned it. You just know that you know it. This is the first time, really, you've heard somebody outright call you a druid.
Okay. He'll take the bait. He'll be like, "What's a druid?"
Child. A druid is one who finds the gifts directly from the world around them, from the very nature, the flora, the fauna. You draw upon its flow, allowing it to pass through you and back out again. You take temporarily and give back when you are done. It is a flow. It is but one form of magic.
Well, duh.
And the
If
least
anyone grew up in a
invasive.
So, well, duh. If anyone was born in a forest, they could do what I do.
No, they cannot. It is a natural-born gift to a very select few in this day and age. The bulk of your kind were killed off decades ago by a jealous man wishing to understand and garner the gifts given to them. To sustain his own life, like your people have done for hundreds of years. Not in selfish means, mind you, but as a means of protecting the world around them.
That's not true. Anyone could do this, and I'm gonna just perform a druid craft, which I inherently think is like the most basic thing that I could do, just easy, that I associate with any kind of arcana or magic, and I'm gonna use it just to snuff out one of the candles, and then I'm gonna turn to Trash, who I know can do magic, and I'll be like, watch, she could do it too. Go ahead, Trash, light that candle.
I can't do that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's so easy. I've seen you do magic.
I can do magic, but it is... I cannot speak with animals. I've never been able to commune with nature. I cannot control the forests or its vines. All of that is that's you. I can't do any of that.
I look at you like surprised, and I'll turn to Dazes and look him up and down, who I've never seen cast a spell in my life, and give him a little blow off hand gesture. No,
In response
I'm not
to that, I'm going to create or destroy a big water bubble above his head, and let it fall on him.
I like your sense of humor.
It is worth.
But no. Let me get more to the point. It seems you need a demonstration more so than an explanation.
It's a visual. Why don't you
Why don't you...
tell me what you can do?
Why don't you... 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 W try a different form, child. Floof, make a wisdom saving throw for me. Floof, I need you to wild shape into the first form that you can think of. Whether you want to or not.
Okay. Rabbit.
You shapeshift into a rabbit, and you watch as the elderly woman stands up, slowly walks over towards you, and kneels down over you. Child, I've been in this world longer than most of you could even dream. And I've only ever seen maybe a dozen that can do what you just did.
I stare up at her with my big rabbit eyes.
Anyway. And she turns away and has a seat back on the cushioned chair.
I hop over to Dazes.
Anyway, and you all turn as Veridi kind of speaks to you all. Anyway, I guess some reintroductions are in order. We didn't really get to know one another very much while we were on the railway. But I wanted the opportunity to say thank you for what you did. Again, my name's Veridi Belay. I'm a entertainer, singer, songwriter. This here's Rivo. We're, I would just say, engaged to be engaged? Yeah. She kind of elbows him. Yeah, we're engaged. And you hear the elderly woman. Oh, my dear. What? What's so wrong about not being so certain? Child, the reason your hair is on fire right now is because of your uncertainty. Try to be a bit more direct. You are the man in this relationship. So he kind of steps back and takes his licks. Anyway, more to the point. Why are you here?
We wish this. We want out of this contract.
I thought I sensed his stink all over you. That face-dancing prick.
We signed a bad contract, but,
Indeed.
well, we didn't have
A
much
contract
choice.
with a fae and a god. It's quite the deal you're tied to. A deal I can assure you that Oban intends to take full advantage of.
Our friend Billet is also.
I see that.
Involved in this.
Come here, little one. And you watch as the hand kind of stretches out from this old lady in a rather fast and direct movement as Billet is drawn in and almost like pulled across the room, but it's not like he's being pulled. You don't even see his feet move, but you watch almost like the space itself is being warped so that the space between her hand and his body is shortened drastically to the point where her fingertips, her old wrinkled fingertips, are almost touching his breastplate. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, quiet you. Just making sure that little bastard can't see what we're talking about right now. I've got enough peeping eyes in my home. I don't need his here, too.
And you watch as there's this blackish ichor that stretches out from underneath her fingernails and sort of drips down over the top of the etched on sigil that you all had seen on Billet's chest plate, as it sort of drips and hardens like candle wax over the top of the markings and the etchings in his hull, or the structure of his chest.
It won't last forever, but it'll last long enough that I don't have to worry about him watching things. Now, I would assume, since you risked coming all the way here, that you're trying to break one deal for another. Because I can assure you, my assistance does not come cheap. Especially after you broke my window.
I hop a bunch of times trying to defend myself.
Doing what? I'm sorry?
I hop a bunch of times trying to communicate that I knocked.
You don't have to remain in that form. You can change back, child.
Oh. I'll change back and say I knocked.
It's just a little bit of fey touch, if you will.
So, you could free us from this curse?
Potentially.
Please do that.
Why? Why should I? What are you offering me?
To that I look at Dazes and Trash.
Did you really come here expecting me to help you for free?
No. Is there anything that you need assistance with?
Not particularly. But there are always interesting things in this world. I've lived for millennia, child. I've seen the rise and fall of civilizations here hundreds of times over. After so many years, there's little that surprises me these days.
And you hear Rivo kind of under his breath. That's why you're such a jaded old hag.
What was that, Rivo? Perhaps next time I should light up the hair below the belt.
And you watch as he kind of turns and looks the other way.
Pardon his rudeness. I honestly don't see what Verity sees in you. But it's her choice. And choice is important. That's what separates us from mindless beasts. It's the ability to choose between what we care about and what we need. The ability to choose where we take our lives, what threads we pull, and who we come in contact with. If there's anything in this world that I want, more than anything at this point in time, is simply to be entertained. When you've been around as long as I have, nothing much surprises you anymore. So when something does pop up, like 4 wandering idiots breaking through your window, it bothers you, but I can't complain and won't argue that it isn't interesting. And I won't say that I wouldn't love to see the look on Oban's face. And him and his cackling little god don't get what they want. Oh, I would love to see the look on his face. Oh, I can taste it. It's delectable. Let me think on it a bit.
We don't have time for you to think. We have 6 days.
We have some time.
Time is irrelevant here, child. You're in my domain.
Domain?
Yes.
What that mean?
You think you're in a room right now with your companions, child?
I look around the room and say, yeah.
Take another look. She points behind you.
Okay, I'll look.
You turn around, and just as you turn, you find that you're no longer in the room and that you're ever so precariously perched over a cliffside. That you almost fall back, or you almost tiptoe forward over as you turn and almost begin to lose your balance as the shock of looking down at a near 100, 200-foot fall into a foggy chasm like causes your stomach to sink into or causes your stomach to fall and sink and your heart rate to rise almost immediately as you stumble back to the feet of your companions, back in the room again. As I stated, my domain.
What did that look like from my perspective? Did it look like he disappeared?
It just looked like he turned and looked at something and then fell back almost immediately in fear.
I'll say, what the heck? Um, and what can I sense? Did I sense any magic?
You sense magic all around you. This entire space is like a giant balloon filled with dense arcana.
Does it feel evil or naturey, or am I able to tell anything like that?
Give me an arcana check. You feel the intensity, but you don't really sense any like innate hostility. It's extremely potent and all enveloping and surrounding in this space. It's like as if you were sucked into a sort of bubble of arcana when you pass through that window.
Okay.
And while you're in this bubble, you feel completely at the whim of this Fey entity.
Okay.
Anyway. Verity, dear, I need a nap. It's been such an interesting afternoon. Why don't you and our guests make yourselves comfortable for the time being? We can talk more when I've had some time to think about this. Of course, Auntie. We'll talk more once you've had some time to rest and freshen up. You're such a good child.
And you watch as Verity kind of assists her getting back up, which is strange since you've seen the precise, dexterous movements of this otherwise very old-looking woman, and it's odd. Watching her being assisted by this much younger woman.
Rivo, be a dear and grab my walker, please. Right, of course, Auntie. Right away.
And you watch as he runs and grabs the walker, and it takes a few minutes, and then as they walk through one of the adjacent rooms on the opposite side of this main room, and you three are left, or you four with Billet are left in this room, and you can see that there are other windows in this room. With the time you look out these windows, and they almost look like they look out onto a town. Like you can see other buildings through the glass, other structures, as if you're on some sort of city street. You don't hear any voices or anything, but you can see what looks like the loose, like sort of distorted. This glass isn't like smooth. It's almost like a Coke bottle glass. Like it's very thick and oxidized, and you can see that like what looks like people walking through on the opposite side of these windows that you definitely didn't see on the outside of the hut when you were climbing up it, fighting it, trying to break through the window. And this space, when you compare it to the hut structure wandering about out in the swamp, it's way more spacious in here than it should be. Like volumetrically, it does not make sense. What was that you were about to say, Floof?
I was gonna say I'm gonna go to what. I mean, my curiosity, I think, would get the better of me, and I'd look out the one of the window with the people walking by and buildings.
Give me a perception check. Okay. It's definitely a city street. You see adjacent buildings on the other side. It looks like a fairly metropolitan area. Like not like a major, not as big a city as Grossmauer or Mirstadt, but definitely a decent sized, city or township. You can't really make out a lot of detail to people's faces, but it looks like you're just another house or townhome on the side of a city street. Which
I'm gonna tap on the glass.
Oh,
you tap on the glass and the figures just keep walking.
is it more than one window?
Yeah, there's probably half a dozen windows scattered about this big living space.
And they all look like they're different, different cities.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. What is that? It is.
Okay. You look about, and at first you don't really recognize until you come to one of the middle-ish windows. And you definitely recognize the street. You've been on this street more times than you've been willing to admit. And you recognize this street as the main drag of bars and taverns along in the heart of Mirstadt. And then one other window that you recognize is a sort of rounded, more uniquely shaped window. And as you look out, you recognize that it peers out onto what looks like the Silver Plateau in Callista. Each one of these windows seems to be a window to an entirely different space across the continent of Irindal. It is, once you begin to realize it, it is extremely trippy. You don't seem to be able to interact with anything on the opposite side of the window. It just seems to be almost like a... If there were televisions in this world, this would be the closest thing to a TV that you could probably get. It's like a strange sort of Truman Show to multiple places across Irindal.
Okay.
Like a weird reality show to different security camera views, but the security cameras are all over the continent. So you figured out the mirrors, or you figured out the window trick, did you? As you hear Rivo come out from the room. It's a bit weird, huh?
It's fascinating.
That one there that you were just standing by, that there's the main drag along Mirstadt. That one over there is Callista. That one over there, that's the main market square in Tierhelm. That one over there, as he points, and you recognize this one, Trash, is the main promenade in Magnolia, the capital city of the Empire. You recognize the stone, the very beautiful limestone and right angles of a lot of the architecture, looking onward towards the main promenade, heading towards the palace in Magnolia. A view you haven't seen in probably over a decade. a view that gives you mixed feelings. A feeling of home, and yet a feeling of a place you really don't have a lot of positive memories from. Yeah, Auntie B, she really likes to, she likes to keep up on the times, you know? See what's going on in the world, but doesn't really like being a part of it.
I think I can understand that to a degree.
I can understand it, too. It's what brought me here. Looking to escape the world, and I got lost in this here swamp, and, well, found something I wasn't expecting. But, you know, had to pay a bit of a price to, you know, get what I wanted.
What price?
He points to the fiery locks on the top of his head. Everything comes with a price.
Is Veredi or
Veridi.
Veridi still in here?
She's not in the room. You can kind of hear muffled voices from one of the doors on the opposite side of this big room that you're in.
Okay, maybe I'll gesture toward that and ask what she paid.
Well, she and I, well, we hit it off, and, well, at first, Auntie B wasn't real keen on the whole situation, you know, me and her, and she's kind of the closest thing to a daughter that Auntie B has. So when I said I wanted to, you know, take her away from here, well, Auntie B wasn't too happy about that. But I said, what did I have to do to change her mind? And I said I'd, if I ever made a mistake and broke her heart, that she could light me up like a candlestick and burn me away to my core. Well, she gave me a reminder of what'll happen if I ever break that promise. Thankfully, it doesn't hurt, usually. But I mean, some people even find it kind of fashionable, but yeah, it can be a bit dangerous to those who are not used to it.
Can we trust her?
Auntie B?
Yeah.
I mean, can you trust anybody, really? At least she's honest and tells you that everything comes with a cost. She'll tell you up front and let you make the choice. I would say that's about as trustworthy as most people this day and age will be.
I won't respond, but Floof internally will clock like an appreciation for the transparency.
Just as he finishes answering your question, you watch as Veridi kind of steps out of the door. I apologize for all that and the bit of the, pointing at you, Floof. Yeah, perhaps we should make a meal and get that looked at and make sure you don't get no infection. Rivo, can you be a dear and start up some dinner? Yeah, sure thing, dear. As he, goes to gather some cookware from... You see that there's sort of like an open space, like an open doorway, like a stone frame doorway that he turns around, and as you kind of follow with your eyes and kind of lean over, you can see it is a long kitchen hallway. Again, much longer than this space should rightfully be volumetrically. And you can see he's gathering through what looks like a pantry or some sort of food storage area, like a dry storage, gathering up some ingredients, some herbs, and some cookware to begin making something in the hearth.
Is there any kind of drastic change in smell or anything as these doors open?
There's no door through there. It's the same sort of smell, but you do get a strong scent of like herbs and dried cured meats in that corner of the room as you kind of turn your head and go closer and focus on that area.
Okay.
And some scents you weren't expecting, ones that you have never smelled before. Some of them are very pungent. Like either a bitter scent or a sweet scent, and some that are like very, like almost like an ammonia smell to them, that are like stored way further back, but they're so strong that they're like kind of poking through in this mixture, this cacophony of different smells you smell down this hallway.
Okay.
Well, why don't y'all have a seat for the moment, and while Rivo whips something up for us. Sorry we weren't expecting guests this evening, but we'll at least try to, whip something up. Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. As he sits down, he starts chopping up some vegetables and herbs and filling up from a barrel of what looks like clean water. The cleanest water you've seen in probably the past 6.5, 7 hours. But yeah, why don't we have a chat? I'm sure y'all have a lot of questions about this here place. A lot of questions we will try to answer next time. As we're creeping up on about 3 hours here.
Yeah. Good. I didn't even notice the time. Good eye.